This episode is sponsored by Scare Scotland. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals and other creative people to live a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson, hello, and this is episode 97, Focus on Three Things. This is a ruthless world, and one must be ruthless to cope with it. Charlie Chaplin, unquote. So this is the third of my shorter test episodes, but last week's show was of a standard length, about 22 minutes, and in it I introduced 5 motivational messages from viral YouTube legend Abo Demi Demi. I should probably say that I don't think his real name is Demi Demi. I think he's become known as that. It's Abo seems to be the one that comes up. But anyway, please go back and have a listen if you haven't done so yet. He's an interesting character and his unusual musings are well worth your time. Today, though, I'm backing this simple productivity concept that focusing on no more than 3 things over a given period of time, not at the same time, but over a given period, could change everything for you. It may be more completely stated as focus on 3 things and ignore the rest. Tom McCallum, in his Open Leadership blog, says past and current clients will smile at the title, as I always look to get them to distill their focus down to 3 things, no matter the size of the company, the complexity of the challenges, the opportunities or the issues that they face, unquote. And today's topic fits well under this show's heading of success, because if your focus is spread across too many things, too many goals or ideas or concepts or tasks or responsibilities and commitments, you will almost never find it. Success will be elusive to you. And focusing on just 3 things forces you to consider whether something is a distraction or an opportunity. Too many ideas, even great ones, will bring chaos and confusion into your life, but focusing down on 3 will eliminate much of that chaos and make your goals significantly more achievable. And I often struggle with my own projects because I can't possibly work on them or move them all forward at a pace that I would like. I'm sitting here prepping podcast shows when I want to be advancing several film projects. I really want to be working on them. I also want to be working on several admin matters, really just to get them behind me, and several personal projects I want to be moving forward as well at a decent pace. But I know from experience that I really can't do that. I forever wish, in fact, that I had a team of skilled people on whom I could rely to help me with marketing or admin or communications or development itself, but I just don't have them. I'm on my own, and when I spread myself too thinly, the needle on these other tasks, these other goals of mine, just barely moves. And I've accepted that, and I've vigorously sought to prioritize what I'm focusing on. On the 12-week year, for example, I will only ever focus on 3 major goals over any given period of time. Let's say I had 10 goals throughout the year. I would never take on more than 3 of those goals in any 12-week period, for example, because I've learned again and again that to do more would jeopardize the whole lot of them. Prioritizing my long-term goals as well as my monthly, my weekly, and my daily tasks down to just 3 things at a time is an essential part of what I do. Sheryl Sandberg talks about it as follows. We talk about it as ruthless prioritization, and by that what we mean is only do the very best of the ideas. Lots of times you have very good ideas, but they're not as good as the most important thing you could be doing, and you have to make hard choices. And Warren Buffett talks about something very similar, but his is a little bit different. He says pick 5 and only work on them, and he goes into some detail about it. He says, list the top 25 things that you want to do over the next few years or even in your lifetime. He wants you to then jot down anything that comes to mind as being important to you that isn't currently part of your life. And he then asks us to pick the 5 things we want more than anything. You'll likely want to do more yourself, but you can't do that in his system, because if you do, your chances again of achieving them will be greatly diminished. So choose only those that are of the utmost priority to you. Next up, and some of you will be starting to see a parallel here with what I'm talking about, and the best year yet strategy, which I've done 2 previous shows on, but he says we should make a top 5 plan. So decide exactly how you plan to get to work on the 5 things that you've chosen and what your approach will be. And he'll also encourage you not to put it all off, and he wants you to kill that, I think what he calls it is I'll start tomorrow mindset, and start on your plans right away. And once the top 5 planning session is over, you might be asking yourself, but what about these other 20 things on the list you had me write? And what Warren Buffett says to that is, no matter what, these 20 things, these other 20 things, get no attention from you whatsoever until you've succeeded with your top 5 you've already chosen. Those 20 things are what Warren calls the avoid at all costs list. And that list should never, ever be touched unless, of course, you have completed the first 5 priority goals first. This ruthlessness in choosing just 5 things if you'd want to follow Warren Buffett's example, or 3 things if you would prefer to follow mine, which is also known as the rule of 3, by the way, is essential if you are to achieve success. And if you want to prioritize success, then take this concept and run with it. If you want to know more about it, then please do have a look back at the 12-week year system, which was covered in episode 91. That was the New Year special. And also have a look at the best year yet strategy, which was covered in the previous New Year special. And you'll be unstoppable if you decide to take this stuff on. And as a kind of little aside here, I must add that I've this year helped 2 people with their own strategies. And it's been very, very time consuming, but it's been a rewarding journey for everyone concerned. And these people are moving forward with 12-week year strategies that I've helped them put together and helped them manage. And this is a service I'm considering offering in future for a fee. It would consist of something like 4 to 6 phone calls or potentially Zoom sessions or something similar, where the first 2 would be pretty hefty, where I'd be going through your goals with you and helping you to make a best year yet strategy for the year ahead. That doesn't have to happen at the start of the year, by the way. It can happen at any point, and you choose the beginning and end point of your year, of your 12 months. So it could happen, for example, from the 1st of June through to the following year, rather than it being the 1st of January through to the following 1st of January, if you get my drift. And the other phone calls would really just be check-ins, be shorter check-ins to see how you're doing, if you're going off the rails, and to give you advice on getting back on, because this isn't easy. You know, taking control of your life, making a difference, and driving your goals forward. There's a reason you haven't got there yet. It's pretty tough going, but this system, the best year yet strategy, combined with the 12-week year, which is what I do, I set up a 12-week year as part of what I'm doing with these people, will allow you to take really, really big bites out of the goals that you have been trying to get on top of. So, as I say, it's something I've been thinking about. I've helped 2 people already. It certainly seems to help them. If it's of interest to you, if you think that's something you'd be willing to pay some money for, because I can tell you I'm not doing it for nothing. It is so time consuming. It is so involved. It takes up so much of my time and my mental energy that I really couldn't do it for nothing. But as I say, it's something I've been playing with. I've never really thought of monetizing my productivity skills like that, but it's something I would certainly be willing to consider if someone was interested out there in it. And just generally, if someone has got a productivity problem and they think I can help, don't be afraid to go on to the Twitter account, to @FilmProProdPod, or on to @FilmProProductivity on Facebook, and send a message, and I'll see if I can help you out productivity wise with something you're struggling with. But that's all for today's episode, really. I'm going to leave it at the rule of 3, and hopefully you'll be able to get something out of it. As I say, I just tend to think of it as focus on 3 things and ignore the rest. And that can be applied to something you're doing daily, something you're doing weekly, or something you're doing monthly or on longer term. This is just an easier way to get things done. Too much stuff coming in will cause you confusion and chaos in your life. I'm going to be releasing the next show not on Wednesday as I'd planned, but on a week today on the Sunday. So I know that's a bit of a change. It's not how I said they were going out, but I'm looking at the analytics of how the 2 in a week went out compared to just standard weeks with these shorter episodes. So that's a bit of a change, but the next show will be called Opening and Closing Doors, so look out for that one. But in the meantime, let me finish with a quote from John Maeda, who said, "People who can focus get things done. People who can prioritize get the right things done." Now, take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you can hear right now is Adventures by Ehumetsu. You can view the show notes for this episode on the official website, only there, at filmproproductivity.com. And you can follow the official accounts on Twitter at filmproproductivity or on Facebook at filmproproductivity. Hold on, that's not right. On Twitter at filmproprodpod or on Facebook at filmproproductivity. That's enough today. Please keep on listening. See you next time. Oh, and subscribe if you've not done so already. Bye.